Well, George, anything interesting in The Guardian today?
Oh, not much. But there is an interesting article about Monty Python's recent performance at the O2 Arena. It says that the surviving members had, with the passing of years, begun to occupy an institutional position in the edifice of British social culture that they had once had so much fun trying to demolish.
Let me see. Oh, look, it says here that Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones commented on Monty Python's reunion saying, "It's just a bunch of wrinkly old men trying to recapture the glory of their youth. Ha! All the while he and the Stones are out on the road attempting the same bloody thing." Do you think that Mick will ever get any satisfaction?
I don't know, darling. It's only rock and roll.
But apparently they like it.
Look here, darling. It also said amongst the most visible cultural influences of Monty Python is the inclusion of the terms either directly from or derived from Monty Python into the lexicon of the English language. The most obvious of these is the term Pythonesque, which has become a byword in surreal humor and is now included in standard dictionaries. Python member Terry Jones commented on his disappointment at the existence of such a term, claiming the initial aim of Monty Python was to create something new and impossible to categorize, and the fact that Pythonesque is now a word in the Oxford English Dictionary shows the extent to which they had failed. The term has been applied to the animation similar to those constructed by Python member Terry Gilliam. Did you know he was the only member of the comedy troupe that was American?
American, you say? What the bloody hell was he doing in a British comedy troupe? I think his name should forever be stricken from the annals of British comedy.
So let it be written, so let it be done.
What do Americans know of comedy anyhow? All they know is rape, murder, war, and such.
They did have those two fellas. Well, you know, the Mexican chap and that half-Chinese gentleman. What were their names again? Oh, yes, Cheech and Chong. You remember, darling, the boys with the pot humor. I think the Americans called it stoner humor.
I prefer Python because they are more acid. Hey, it's time for the news. I think I'll turn on the BIE and see what's happening.
From the BIE Network, a shocking story from Texas. The first execution utilizing a chair dubbed Sparkomatic has resulted in failure. The longtime death row inmate Pedro de Pacas de la Cula Cabeza, who survived the execution attempt, will reportedly go free according to legal provision. One of the 6 witnesses later described the mishap as, quote, so bizarre it was almost comical, unquote.
Hey, man! Hey, turn it off! Hey, turn it off! Man! Turn it off! Hey, man, look what you did to my hair, man!
Mr. De La Cula Cabeza will be freed with a bus ticket, $50, and his new hairdo. From Los Angeles, I'm Dick Wigler.
You would not believe the motherlode I just dropped. And that's how I like to keep it, leaving not a trace that I was ever here, let alone that I just birthed a creamy behemoth from my cavernous bowels. Nothing is worse than stinking up the shared toilet at work, or the toilet at a party, or your lover's apartment. Of course, flushing removes the graphic evidence. Maybe 2 or 3 flushes if your skid marks are as tenacious as mine. But what can be done of that subtle scent of a 300-cow dairy farm? Aerosol air fresheners aren't the most effective option, or the healthiest. Trying to mask the stench, giving you a nice blend of ChemLab carnations with just a touch of feces. So, how do you make the world believe your poop doesn't stink? Or in fact that you never poop at all? Poopery. Poopery is the before-you-go toilet spray that is proven to trap those embarrassing odours at the source and save relationships. Simply spritz poopery in the bowl to create a film on the water's surface that actually traps the odours in their porcelain prison. And when your little astronauts splash down and make contact with the film, they release poopery's pleasant aromas, so all those around you can smell as a refreshing bouquet of essential oils. Yes, it is a real product. And yes, it really works. We've sold over 4 million bottles. On Amazon alone, there are over 1,000 reviews rating it 4.8 of 5 stars. That's a better Amazon rating than the iPhone 5. If it doesn't completely stop your stench from spreading, send it back for a full refund. Our unconditional stink-free guarantee. If your poo stinks, click here to get your poopery today at poopery.com. So whether you need to pinch a loaf at work, cut a rope at a party, or lay a brick at your boyfriend's, your days of embarrassing smells or prairie dogging it are over. Poopery. Our business is to make it smell like your business never even happened.